Sybil Madison Boyd, Director of the Learning Pathways Program at Digital Youth Network at the DePaul University. And you are about to see the first of a series of 5 professional development workshops that we are providing to organizations who are participating in Chicago's City of Learning. This first workshop is entitled Connected Learning in Action. In this workshop, we talk about the research-based framework that is behind the initiative, the Connected Learning Framework, which really is about how young people learn today and how we can work to connect all the spheres of their lives that are really important to them, their peers, their interests, and their academics. So in this workshop, what you're about to see is a brief overview of the Connected Learning Framework, and we have a colleague of ours who's going to demonstrate the principle of production-oriented and take our participants through a great activity that he uses that involves production. There are all kinds of wonderful things happening for young people all over the city, and we want to first make them aware that they're happening, and then acknowledge what they're getting out of those opportunities so that they actually count across spaces and they get recognized for that. So that's what Chi-Y.O.U is all about. When we were there that day, you created majors. What would these majors be called if we kind of connected our programs? And that's kind of the next step in what we want to do with this initiative. We want to make everybody know about your individual programs, but we also want young people to start to make connections across programs. And it could be that they're dibbling and dabbling, and so I'm going to do a little bit of design over here, and I'm going to go over here and do some art, and I'm going to go over there. But we also want, in that experience, young people to begin to understand what they're really jazzed about, what they really love, and what they're passionate about, and where they can go next. So you might be the entry point for a young person, but then they could go even deeper if they take this next step and go to this next program. So we want all of our young people and their parents and their teachers to know, but we also want our organizations to know and feel connected to other organizations. And that's one of the reasons why we're having regional trainings, just so people who are actually working in the same part of the city can begin to understand what else is being offered in the city. What we see is that when kids get hooked in that way, they start to really get obsessed with getting better. And so we see the passion, the commitment, the perseverance, the grit coming out of young people who are really hooked on something and want to get better. And we want them to understand where they can go to do that. So they might start with you, but where can they go next to dive really, really deep? And it's situated in this larger framework that's called Connected Learning, which is about connecting the learning that happens in all spheres of young people's lives. And so we know they're in school, and school is really important, and it is important for them to be prepared academically. But we also know that young people are really connected to their friends, and they're really, sometimes they come to our programs because they're with their friends, and that their peers make a big difference in their lives, and also that they learn a lot with their peers. So there are lots of things that kids do with peers that have them engaged, taking deep dives, and we also know that they're really engaged around their interests. And as they get older and older, their interests become more, and their peers become more a part of what's central to their lives. So connected learning is about connecting all these spheres of young people's lives, helping kids make sense of that, and not feeling like, oh, this is me at school, and this is me after school, and I'm doing what I really like, and then I'm going back to school. So making connections across those worlds, making sure that things count across those worlds, and helping young people really start to understand what they're interested in, what they're passionate about, and how that's connected to their future, wherever that future might lead.
We hear it all the time. Our education system is broken. But what if that's not true? What if our education system is doing just what it was designed to do, only it was designed for a world that no longer exists? For much of the 20th century, opportunity was on the rise. Those who graduated high school could find secure, good-paying jobs waiting for them in growing communities. But today, things are different. Those kinds of jobs are disappearing. More and more people are falling into poverty as wealth concentration has grown to its highest level in generations. What's really broken is our economy. That's a big problem, and one we can't just blame on our education system. If we really want to change things, we need to change how we think about our entire system. Today, we have an education system that reinforces inequality by helping to sort the few winners from the rest. What we need is a system that challenges that inequality by empowering people to create opportunity together. Connected learning is a set of principles designed to nurture the kind of students that can thrive in the 21st century. It recognizes that in today's interconnected world, information, resources, and learning opportunities are everywhere, and schools are only one piece of a larger ecosystem of learning that happens at home, online, and with peers. Connected learning embraces today's new forms of learning and technology, connecting student interest to academic success and making education relevant to young people's lives. By the time today's first graders graduate high school, there will be whole new industries we can't even imagine today. Connected learning fosters the adaptive, lifelong learners that can flourish in a world of rapid technological change. And it connects them to something bigger. By encouraging active engagement with real problems and real needs, it motivates students and empowers communities to realize their potential. The digital era has the potential to connect people with resources and with each other like never before. Connected learning leverages that potential. If we can recognize this and make the benefits of connected learning available to all, maybe we can start making lasting changes and reconnect education to opportunity.
Today I'm going to be facilitating a stamp making workshop using some pretty inexpensive and easy to get tools. The learning goal is to give students a chance to express themselves artistically and creatively in a way that can transfer to other disciplines. You'll put slightly less ink on the thing. There you go. You can't say that now.
So think about all the ways that you were engaged in this activity. We heard identity, social emotional, creativity, being able to touch stuff, tangible things, confidence booster. Think about those things as we turn this challenge over to you.
I'm going to take the activity that we did directly and apply it to one of the activities that we already do with the teenagers. The activity that we do involves pieces of fabric, but it's not a really great outlet for individual expression or creativity, and this will help incorporate that into the activity that we already do. So it's going to be more engaging for my teens. It's going to give them the opportunity to express themselves in a way that wasn't possible as the activity was designed before. So it was a really good takeaway.
And what I took away from today was, first of all, how a new activity was one thing that we took away, something that we do that's similar, and now we know a different way to approach it. I also took away a new way of doing like lesson plan or program design, which I thought was really helpful and will help us in our future programming. And I also made some new friends and connections that'll help me with partnerships in the future.
What I take away about connected learning is the understanding of youth making connections between real-world experiences, what they learn during the school day, what they gain in out-of-school time, and helping them make connections so that they will be ready for the 21st century and understand that every experience they have is one that they can use to create goals for themselves, as well as plan for what they want to become in the future.